I want to thank everyone for being here, and congratulations to all the inductees, past, present. Thank you. I'm very honored tonight to have many of my family members here and a lot of friends. Thank you for coming. So, in the early years, Gerard let me work on his race sleds. This is a big deal to me. I would skip schools on Friday, and Gerard and I would go to the races for the weekend. And I can tell you, there wasn't a single school teacher in Evelyn that didn't mind not seeing me on Friday. It was a labor of love, and often a labor of necessity. I can remember a race when Gerard and I took off, and we only had enough funds to get to the race. Now this is Iron Range thinking. We didn't have enough funds to get home, unless Gerard finished in the money. So Gerard, knowing this, managed to bring it home to a third place finish. And we got home. So when Gerard got a ride with Skidoo, it was offered up to David to be his mechanic. But David chose to go to work for Doug Hayes. And I was available. The choice worked out pretty good. David's choice worked out pretty good for the both of us. I was privileged at a young age to work at Skidoo and Yamaha's R&Ds. And I really feel tonight's achievement is due to all the great people I work with. Some of the finest machinists, welders, fabricators, mechanics, drivers, and engineers. They took time to teach a young kid that was willing to learn how to build a snowmobile. The snowmobile industry has given me so much to be thankful for. Lifelong friendships, and even a wife in a roundabout way. So, some 18 years after I rode my first snowmobile from my Uncle Joe's, came the start of Fast Incorporated. Like any small business, Fast began with a lot of family. My sister Denise was on the sales phone. My brother Stephen was building motors and machining. We also had a lot of friends and a couple of cousins sprinkled in. So we had quite a bit of talent. We had Joe and Carol Sorkin. Joe and I worked together during Gerard's racing career. Joe was a great mechanic, but more than that, he was the guy that could handle any situation that came up. We'd spend countless hours crisscrossing the country in the old Skidoo race truck parked out at the Hall of Fame. I'm glad that truck can't talk, because the stories it could tell, I can't tell here. I won't either. Some of the other standouts were Brian Gerson, Trish and Paul Coda-Jelly, the Evenson brothers, Kenny and Dodie. In about 1991 or so, somewhere around there, Rick Strobel joined Team Fast. Rick quickly rose through Fast and became Gerard's right hand in testing. I wouldn't be forgiven if I didn't mention the efforts of Brian Serrar, Kyle Ridlin, and Keith Anderson. Getting them a little hurt, or parched. And last but not least, my wife Angela and Gerard's wife Bridget. They were the very backbone of Fast. We were building everything Fast could think of and the racers could think of. You name it, we made it, or we had it made. I have to say we were having a lot of fun then, and being from the Iron Range, we know a little bit about having fun. The Swedish Skidoo distributor Movac asked Fast to build them 50 long travel suspensions for European snowcross. M10 was the result. The following year, Movac wanted Fast to build 50 Mach 1 racers for European snowcross. So we rented a hangar at the Eveleth Airport, dismantled 50 Skidoo Mach 1s, equipped them with M10s, we cut the front suspensions off, added vertically mounted Fox key shocks, along with a new steering system and sway bar. The next thing you know, we were putting M10s into just about every snowmobile made. We were distributing Fox, Ohlins, Ingens, and even a few Arbor Meritor shocks. By this point, we were thinking very seriously about building a snowmobile. It just seemed like the natural progression. What to build? We started out building some test mules. Three brothers couldn't agree on what to build. Imagine that. So I decided to go back to Yamaha as a snowcross team manager. With guidance from Gordy Metz, Jim Kettinger, and Greg Marrier. Without their support, I never would have been given the budget that I needed to be competitive. We managed to win the 600 class championship and a second in the 700 class championship the very first year out. Thank God we won, because I blew the hell out of that budget. Life is good. I have my dream job, and I get a call from my brothers. Come back and get the blade built. The sled had changed substantially from when I left, and after my first look at their redesign, I knew I wanted to be a part of it. I had developed most of Fast's supplier network, had a good understanding of who could build what and who we would need to get. I managed to convince Rick Strobel to come back to us from Yamaha. Since Rick and I left Fast to go to work for Yamaha, I didn't feel too bad about getting Rick back. At this point, we're about 40 to 50 great employees, and I just want to say thank you to all of them for making a dream come true.